A good afternoon to you. My name is Olive Burrows and you're watching NTV at One. Sonko's lawyers presented a doctor's report saying he urgently needs hip surgery. Mr. Sonko has been at the Nairobi hospital where he was rushed earlier this month with stomach complications. The former governor has been a no-show in any of his court cases for the whole of February. Meanwhile, the anti-terrorism court in Nairobi's Kahawa West has released his two co-accused in the case due to failure by the state to charge them. Clifford Oko and Benjamin Oko were presented before the court as ordered, but the state asked that they be released on condition that they report to a police station every 2 weeks. The lawyers, however, argued that the request by the state is unconstitutional since it hasn't preferred any charges against the two.
Opportunity to tarnish the moral integrity.
Yes.
That the reason, first of all, there is an admission by my colleague.
There appears to be a renewed acceleration of development projects in the Mount Kenya region as President Uhuru Kenyatta moves to shape his legacy. NTV has learned that contractors of ongoing projects have been given a deadline of June 2022. President Kenyatta has been on a mission to win back the region, which he is said to be losing to his deputy, Martin Mora, with that report.
Infrastructure CS James Macharia was on a development tour of the central Kenya, assessing the progress of the dualling of the Kenol-Sagana-Nyeri highway. This is one of the many trips he has made in the region to inspect development projects initiated by President Uhuru Kenyatta. The expected completion date for this project is October 2023, but CS Macharia says that must be revised.
But we've agreed with the contractor that they must finish this project by June 2022, basically bringing forward by more than 24 months.
Observer says President Kenyatta wants his pet project completed while he's still in office. The road is expected to open up the economy of the region and reduce accidents.
One is, in total, the cost is 8.5 billion shillings because it's 48 kilometers in length. Lot 2, which starts from Makutano, 36 kilometers, the cost is about 6.4 billion. And so in total, we are talking about 14 billion in total.
Another key project attracting special attention is the Mau Mau Road.
And also, more importantly, we are also going to expand that road from Keno all the way to Murang'a. Because what we don't want is we do this road, but also there is a bottleneck on the other side.
The CS says those affected by the project will be compensated.
My commitment to you, and you tell your fellow farmers, that we have committed to make sure through the National Land Commission that money will be paid as soon as possible.
We are actually waiting for it so that we want to see if his words will be followed by action so that we can recover what we have lost in the process of this project.
Vile tunataka au tungetaka kwa serikali na tumehakikishiwa sasa na waziri ni ati kabla hawajaanza kufanya kazi hiyo wata compensate wenye mashamba.
Martin Mora, NTV, Murang'a County.
From legacy projects to Kabuchai, where at least 8 people are nursing injuries sustained from what is believed to be a politically instigated attack. Now, the majority of those who are nursing injuries are said to be supporters of a Ford Kenya candidate in the March 4th by-election. Zacchaeus Masame with those details.
With less than a week to the March 4th by-election in Kabuchai, serious concerns have been raised over a series of interference of opposing teams during campaigns.
Ni kupika sera, si kupika watu. Wacha tupange sera, tupewe watu wetu. Ile utafanyia watu ya Kabuchai ukiwa mjumbe. Tuache kutafuta mapanga na miti ya kuua watu yetu. Nimesikitika. Juzi imepita siku moja. Mimi majimbo Kalasinga sahi ningekuwa marehemu.
Serikali iko macho. Wale ambao wanafikiria ya kwamba hii siasa ni siasa itakuwa sorted out na mapanga na marungu na mangumi, wakiwa wanataka vita, hapo sio uwanja ya vita. Kabuchai haitakuwa uwanja wa vita. Kama serikali tutachukua hatua na tumeanza kuchukua hatua kwa sababu vijana wale ambao wamepigana tayari, wananchi tunashukuru kwa sababu wanatupatia a lot of good information, na saa hii ninavyozungumza kuna wao ambao tumeshika
that they are still bound by the electoral code of conduct which they signed against before a commission of oath, and we still have sanctions and the penalties in place.
The attack on 8 people who are said to be supporters of Ford Kenya candidate Majimbo Kalasinga by a rival group has elicited reactions from the area security team as well as the Independent and Boundaries Commission, IEBC. The authorities have further warned the aspirants against violating the law that they will be disqualified and held accountable. Zakis Masame, NTV, Bungoma.
From Bungoma County, we move on to Mombasa County, where residents have been warned against the illegal dumping of waste that is re-emerging at the VOK area in Nyali sub-county. This comes amid growing concerns of a cholera outbreak and other health issues believed to be the result of poor waste management in the area. The Mombasa County government is now urging residents, especially waste collectors, to adopt proper means of disposing of their waste. The cleaning exercise brought together volunteers from different organizations and involves clearing garbage from the dump site as well as collecting litter on the streets.
This place called the VOK, illegal dump site, we cleared it around 3 months ago. We planted trees, and again Mwananchi is still doing the same. So we want to tell them, and we want to tell everybody, all people who are engaged in this illegal dumping, that the fine is 500,000, and this time we will definitely bite.
To Meru County now, and the county government has inaugurated a secretariat and resource mobilization committee to oversee its implementation of the county's Vision 2040 development plan. This will see the county anchor its annual development plan and budget allocation in synergy with the Meru Vision 2040. Governor Kireti Murungi says his administration will initiate conservation, tourism and agro-processing projects aimed at spurring economic growth in the county. The county says it is working closely with the Ministry of Industrialization to hold a Mira scientific conference to market unique Mira products in Kenya and abroad. Cabinet Secretary for Public Service and Gender, Margaret Kobia, has lauded the governor for giving devolution a meaning through programs geared towards improving the lives of the people.
Through MESC, we shall continue contributing our ideas to implement this vision. The Secretariat and my office will always be open to receive your ideas and to partner with you in our dream of making Meru great.
Making Meru great is also very similar to what His Excellency the President supports Vision 2030 by implementing Big Four, and also saying you would want to see a united, peaceful, prosperous country.
Speaking of Mira transporters from Embu and other parts of Mount Kenya region will now be provided with safety stickers and required to strictly observe a 100 km/h speed limit within towns. And this is in an effort to curb accidents. Agriculture Chief Administrative Secretary Ann Nyaga, who has been touring Mira market sheds in Mbeere South, says speeding Mira transporters have caused accidents that have led to several deaths and injuries on transit to Nairobi and other markets. Bere Embu Mira Association will partner with enforcement agencies to execute the new directive. Meanwhile, the government has set aside 48.6 million shillings for the construction of 7 Mira market sheds in Bere as it puts more effort into improving the production of the crop.
Every driver in this county, whether anatoka Ukambani, anatoka Meru, anatoka wapi, spindi yake kutoka hapa kwenda mpaka karibu mpaka kwa super highway ni kilomita 80 mpaka 100. That will be the maximum. Ukipita hiyo tulikubaliana mtashikwa. Na kila gari ambayo inatoka Embu ikibeba miraa itakuwa na stika ya union. Na ile gari ambayo haitakuwa na hiyo stika, polisi wako kwa barabara. Kwa sababu tulikubaliana wakaandika.
Tukaekea watu wa Embu under the union, the Mbere Embu Miraa Union 53 million. Na hii 53 million tutawaletea in 2 weeks time. Mkuje tukae mahali tuongee na nyinyi juu hii ni pesa yenu, lakini kuna venye tunataka kuweka mikakati fulani ndio muweze kuitumia vizuri, ndio kama tunasema ni seed capital, ni ile pesa ya vile mkulima wa kahawa anachungwa ama wa majani. Pia president alionelea ni haki achunge mkulima wa miraa.
Refugees who possess qualification certificates from their countries of origin can now practice in Kenya. This follows the establishment of the recognition of prior learning policy by the Kenya National Qualification Authority. The move comes at a time when the continent is working on modalities of transitioning into a free market, which will allow the movement of goods and labor across borders. Currently, more than 500,000 refugees hosted in the country cannot be employed with the skills they possess, and this policy will allow them contribute to the Kenyan economy. 6 counties with refugee populations will host the pilot registration of skilled refugees in the coming weeks.
Like now we are talking about the African Continental Free Trade Area where Africa is going to trade with itself. There's no way trade is going to be done within Africa if skills cannot move. So part of this system is to support Kenyans, our people, to get certification for skills that they have acquired on the job so that they can use them to develop our economy, they can use them to progress their careers, they can use them to go back to class, they can also be used to go across the borders to do jobs outside Kenya.
But also very important, we hope that these refugees at the end of their time in Kenya would go back home and support in their nation building. And so assessing their capacities, certifying them, and having something that they can show. Most of us want a certificate that can speak to what we are able to do. And so that is what this RPL process is about. And we are very keen to partner with KNQA on this journey. As the DG has said, we look forward to when that first RPL certificate will be issued.
And environmentalists have introduced battery-powered boat engines for fishermen in Lake Victoria. Now, this is in a bid to reduce pollution in the lake by petrochemicals from fuel-powered engines. The program hopes to attract all fishermen around Lake Victoria as part of its efforts to green the lake. Bridget Singana with that report.
It is dawn on the shores of Lake Victoria in Mbita. Fishermen and fish traders haggle over the night's catch. Here, most boats run on petrol-powered engines. Over the years, pollution by these fuel-powered engines have had a negative impact on the lake's ecosystem. But a local startup known as Asobo has begun renting battery-powered engines to some fishermen as part of efforts to curb pollution in Africa's largest freshwater lake.
2908. Perfect.
It all starts in this room where the batteries are charged overnight by solar, then fitted into the boats. The cost of the battery-powered engines is way cheaper compared to the fuel expenses the fishermen must contend with on every trip into the deep waters of the lake, the proprietor says.
We've spoken to hundreds of different data points and tens of different fishers to ask what their normal expenditure is. And what we offer at the moment is at least 20% lower than the average daily cost of a fisher who's using petrol engines.
Even if I don't get to sell omena, I am assured of my trip to the lake since they can give me a battery.
With the Asobo engine, I cannot feel the pinch even when fuel prices go up.
For the community at large, what we're doing is reducing massively CO2 and other negative emissions into the air, as well as reducing oil pollution into the lake, which is all associated with the use of petrol engines.
It has been a year since the fishermen switched to the battery-powered boats, and now this startup has set its sights on expanding its reach to the greater East Africa, with Uganda being its next stop. Bridget's Ghana, NTV.
We'll be back with more on the other side of this break.
I don't know what we're after yet. You have to be alone and I got you on my mind. You're always on my mind. You're always on my
New Tuzo Yogurt Cup. Size yako, bei yako.
Cabling tips. Use cables from a reputable manufacturer made from 99.99% pure copper and the best insulation. Use a certified installer. Scratch to verify and authenticate your cables. We manufacture an extensive range of power connecting lives.
What is family? Family is a solid foundation to build on and a strong pillar to lean on. It is believing in each one of us for the betterment of all of us. Family is working together today to win together tomorrow. It is creating opportunities for a lifetime of happiness. It is knowing we are valued, respected, understood, and most of all, supported. The future is bright because you can always bank on family. Family Bank, with you for life.
Place your order and enjoy free delivery. Reach us on 0723 999981 or 0724 114411 or the details on your screen. Boma Mabati. Mabati ya kila boma.
The magic beckons. From aquatic thrills to wild adventures, experience our latest additions to the magical Kenya Signature Experiences collection, filled with the most unique and authentic Kenyan travel experiences to cure your wanderlust. No matter where you choose to travel in this paradise we get to call home, you will be spoiled for choice and make memories that you'll cherish for a lifetime. Rediscover the magic.
Situated in the Kitengela suburbs, Kitengela Plains is an affordable, pristine residential community of 48 modern villas. Located off Namanga Road, a 30-minute drive from the CBD, the 4-bedroom all-en-suite villa offers a spacious living area, a modern kitchen, a private garden, a play area, and a borehole at only 9.8 million shillings. Call 0710 783 955 or 0798 569 274. Kitengela Plains. Welcome home.
Thank you for staying with us on NTV at One. Before we get into the sports news, let's take a look at what's happening internationally. And more than 300 schoolgirls have been abducted by gunmen in northwest Nigeria in the country's latest mass kidnapping. Distraught parents gathered at the school, desperate for news about their children, as some 50 students who escaped the abduction were taken home. Police say they are in hot pursuit of the suspected criminal gang, which attacked the government girls' science secondary school in Zamfara State around 1 a.m. on Friday. This is Nigeria's third school attack in less than 3 months, a series that has revived traumatic memories of the Chibok girls kidnapped by jihadists nearly 7 years ago. Heavily armed gangs have stepped up attacks in northwest and central Nigeria in recent years, kidnapping for ransom, raping and pillaging. I believe the Bring Back Our Girls rallying call is pertinent once again. The United States has sanctioned 76 Saudi officials for alleged involvement in the murder of a U.S.-based journalist, Jamal Khashoggi, inside the Saudi consulate, in Istanbul in 2018. A declassified U.S. intelligence report says Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman likely approved an operation to kill or capture Khashoggi, and the allegations have been denied by the Middle East.
The 4-page report released on Friday confirmed the long-suspected view that Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman had a personal hand in the violent murder of journalist and former Saudi insider Jamal Khashoggi, who was living in exile in the U.S. and used his platform to decry the prince's crackdown on dissent. The report by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence cited the Crown Prince's control of decision-making in Saudi Arabia, as well as the involvement of a key advisor and members of the prince's protective detail in the operation that killed Khashoggi, a critic of the royal family.
The release of the report itself and the transparency that provides. This is a report that in a sense is not fresh off the printing press. It's been there. We released it. We were determined to bring transparency to this issue and to share with the American people what we know.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said the State Department will impose a Khashoggi ban, a set of restrictions on Saudi individuals who are believed to be involved in the killing.
We have taken action pursuant to what we're calling the Khashoggi ban to impose visa restrictions on 76 Saudi individuals believed to have been engaged in threatening dissidents overseas, including but not limited to the Khashoggi killing.
Despite promising to punish senior Saudi leaders while on the campaign trail, President Biden has declined to punish the Crown Prince even after a U.S. intelligence community determined he is responsible for Khashoggi's brutal murder.
The relationship better reflects our interests and our values. And so what we've done by the actions that we've taken is really not to rupture the relationship, but to recalibrate it, to be more in line with our interests and our values.
The Treasury Department has also announced the freezing of assets and criminalizing transactions with a former intelligence official, as well as the Rapid Intervention Force, an elite unit the report said exists to defend the Crown Prince and answers only to him. In response, the Saudi Foreign Ministry said the report included false information, adding that the government took all necessary judicial measures to prosecute the murderers. The new administration will still have to deal with the prince, who is also defense minister, on issues including oil, Iran and Yemen, where Biden has cut support for Saudi's devastating offensive. Biden's decision to release the report, first completed under Donald Trump, was a sharp departure from his predecessor, who had vowed to keep working with Saudi Arabia due to the kingdom's lavish purchases of US weapons and shared hostility toward Iran.
If you're familiar with the NTV's reporters, you'll know that voice you heard there in that report on Khashoggi was one Rose Wangoi's, and she is an award-winning reporter. Tomorrow she brings us another special report, and she's wading through the waters in Baringo County. Several weeks into the reopening of learning institutions, schools in the Rift Valley region are still submerged by waters from swelling lakes, endangering the lives of learners and teachers. The Ministry of Education says it has allocated emergency funds to relocate the schools and rebuild them on safer grounds, but works are yet to begin. This Sunday, our multi-award-winning reporter Rose Wangoi lays bare the state of affairs in an NTV special, Rounding Hopes.
5 schools were completely submerged.
Kuna hii gate ilienda kwa maji. Hapa iko ipo na iko crocodile. Wakati tunafuga kwa bahari tunakuanga very careful.
Watoto wetu bado wanasoma chini ya miti. Mvua ikinyesha, hata hii exam yenye wanasema watoto watafanya, labda waharakishe.
Parents and school administrators are calling on the government to step up and repair the damaged classrooms.
Minister has already indicated that they are going to send money to schools that were affected.
And I want to urge the Ministry of Treasury that please, can you release this money?
It is not just a school in Trans Nzoia. There are very many calamities around Lake Baringo. The government is very much aware.
Time for the sports news now, and Tusker FC look to extend their lead atop the Football Kenya Federation Premier League when they take on 8th placed Bidco United. The Brewers have 32 points from 13 matches, 6 points more than 2nd placed KCB, who have a game in hand. The Brewers are on a 7-game winning streak, while Bidco have lost 2 of their last 5 games. Meanwhile, defending champions Gor Mahia, who have 4 games in hand, play Nzoia Sugar, hoping to play catch-up to the clubs already starting to separate themselves from the pack. Kogalo are 9th with 16 points from 9 games, while Nzoia are 13th with 14 points from 13 matches. Actually, Nzoia are 13th with 14 points from 13 matches. 4-time NBA champion LeBron James hit back at Swedish soccer star Zlatan Ibrahimovic on Friday, saying there is no reason why he cannot have just as big an impact off the basketball court as he does on it. James has been a force for social change in America, focusing much of his attention to police brutality, and racial injustice against African Americans. He was outspoken about the police shooting of Jacob Blake in Wisconsin last summer, also against Donald Trump, and he worked with other NBA stars to try and get black people out to vote during the recent U.S. elections that brought Joe Biden to power. James was responding to Ibrahimovic's comments earlier this week that athletes should stay out of politics, mentioning James by name and calling him out over his political activism. Manchester City will be looking to make it 20 straight wins in all competitions when they continue their Premier League campaign at home to top 4 chasing West Ham United on Saturday afternoon. The Citizens made it 19 straight victories with